So is there pressure then on Brian Cashman like never before? I mean, he's been there for 25 plus years, right? Aaron Boone, we talked about this earlier. Aaron Boone is getting mad now in his press conferences. He used to be happy all the time, every answer positive, positive. And the last few days, if you watch him, he's pissed. He's like, we got to play better. Like, he's feeling it now, which you never could say before. So I just don't know what the move is. And they're going to have to get super creative, I think, to try to do what you're saying to do, get younger, athletic, but also still contend. The problem is they don't have a lot of assets I don't know that people want. I don't know who they have that people are dying to get their hands on. I mean, I can't think. I mean, yeah, of course, Aaron Judge, but he comes with a huge price tag, right?
No,
but I know, Judge. But I'm saying other than him, of other teams, if you're a team.
I mentioned them. Wandy, Peralta, Bader, IKF, Glaber. No, these are small, right.
They're not a move. They're not a move that you look at like a Chapman and you say, we're going to trade Chapman to the Cubs. He's going to bring us back a Glaber Torres type prospect. So that's where I feel like there might be a 3-team trade. They're going to have to get super creative. And I think this is why, if you talk to Yankees fans, I don't know if they trust Brian Cashman to do this.
A lot of them don't. And you asked me if there's pressure on him. Pressure is a relative term. There's pressure on him from the fan base. They're frustrated. And there have been a lot of moves over the past few years that have not worked out for Brian Cashman. At the same time, it goes back to almost the same conversation we were having about Manfred, about Artie Moreno. There's only one opinion that matters here, and it's Hal Steinbrenner's. And Hal Steinbrenner is extremely loyal to Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman, on balance, those 25 years, they've never had a losing record. They've been to the playoffs in something like 85% of those years. It's hard to argue with that, the bigger picture. But when you burrow down on what's been going on the last few years, not as good. So is there pressure? Pressure in New York from the fans, for sure. Pressure from the owner? I don't know, but my sense is no. And at the same time, Brian Cashman has a lot of pride, and he's going to want to fix this, and he's going to want to get it right. Does he have the wherewithal to do that? Is he savvy enough to do that? Those are all questions that will be asked and should be asked, but I don't see him being in trouble or anything like that. And Boone, it's interesting, AJ. A lot of people have noticed in recent days he looks a little haggard. He's frustrated. He's a little bit more short-tempered, as you said, with reporters than he usually is. But you know how managers work. They're sitting there 24 hours a day trying to figure out how to get things better. And his team is just in the same rut. And I don't know what the answer is. And he's got to be sensing as well, Boone, that his job could be on the line. And maybe that's not fair. Maybe it should be Cashman's job if you're a Yankee fan looking at this objectively, if you're a Yankee executive looking at this objectively. But I don't expect that to be how it works. So we'll see how it goes.
I miss George. I miss George. Can you imagine if George Steinbrenner is still on the Yankees? Not only, dude, he would have fired, rehired Cashman. It would have been like,
it would have been more fun to cover because there would have been a lot more activity.
Well, there was more urgency. There was more urgency with George. There's no question about that. Now, when you say you miss George, he treated a lot of people badly.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes,
that part of it we don't miss.
No, yes.
I understand what you're saying. And the one thing that George had that is lacking, not just among the Yankees, but among a lot of teams, is what we discussed earlier. This fierce hunger to win. That's all he cared about. And he would do things that were not necessarily cool to get there, but that drove that organization. And there was a sense of urgency every day. There's a sense of urgency now. It's not the same. It can't be when you don't have, for lack of a better term, a raving lunatic running your team. It's different.